Hey folks, this is a tutorial on how to use Cloud Shell. Cloud Shell is basically a terminal environment that you get with the GCP console. It's basically a tool to make your life easier. So using the Cloud Shell, you can also not only create your infrastructure, but also do some development as well. So to open Cloud Shell, you first need to log into your GCP. After you've done that, you can just click on this particular icon. So this will actually activate your Cloud Shell. So let's just do that. So once it's activated and once you're able to see this console, you'll notice that this particular console at this moment is linked to a particular project. So if you want to change your project to something else, then what you need to do is just type this particular command with the project ID. So I currently have these two projects in my console. So if I were to open this particular project in my GCP, I'll just copy this ID and do oops. So I will just authorize this. And now you can see that the project has been changed from this to this. So if I were to create any infrastructure on this particular project, so I can just do that using any of the gcloud commands. So if I were to create a virtual machine, then I would just do the gcloud create virtual machine to create a virtual machine on this particular project. So that's the first thing you need to note while you are logging into the console, that which particular project your terminal is tied up to, and based on whether you want to change it, you can change it using this particular command. The second thing you need to notice is that there are two aspects to the Cloud Shelf. The first one is the terminal, and the other one is the open editor. So if you were to do some basic coding, for example, you want to, let's say, create a web server, then an easy way of doing it would be to just open the editor and just type in your program and just let it run. Uh, we'll do that later in this course. Meanwhile, if you look at this particular environment, it's a normal Bash Cloud Shell, a Linux Cloud Shell, and you can just type in any command that you like. So, for example, if I were to open a watch VI, then I can do that. It also has multiple tools already pre-baked into it. For example, if I were to do a node version, so it has node already installed in it, and it also has other multiple languages that you can use. The other thing that Cloud Shell has is a 5 GB persistent memory. So for example, if I were to upload or download a file, and if I were to close this terminal and open it back again, that particular file would exist. So it has a space of 5 GB, which is mounted on your home directory. So let's try to see how that works. So I'll upload a file, and let's say I want to upload this particular file. So I'll just do that. And I'll do an ls. So you can see that this particular file has been uploaded. So if I were to close this particular terminal and open it again, that particular file would still exist. Yeah. The open editor is basically a tool that can be used for coding. So let's just open that and see how that can be used. So I've opened the code editor. So it takes a little time for this to load initially. The other thing that I've done is I've maximized the particular screen so it's easier for you to work on it if you have it completely maximized. So this will give you basically the folder structure of where you exactly are. This is basically the home directory right now. So if I were to do a cd $home, so this is where exactly you are at this moment. So what I've done is I've just created a small little HTTP Node.js application to run a web server. So as you can see that it's going to run on 8081. Now, if I were to change this, let's say I want to run it on another port 8085, for example. So I will just change this to 8085. Let me just save this and I can just do a node app.js. Now, if I were to see the output of this particular code, I need to click on this web preview and I just need to specify the port. So I have to change this to 8085 and just click on it. So as you can see that this will give you the output of the particular web server. So this is actually a very useful way of coding and it's a fairly straightforward and a very standard tool to use. Thank you.